Okay, I just want to show something here. It's my camera case. That's nothing, but I wanted to show you a net bag I carry in my backpack. I carry kind of all the important little essentials, so I'll show you just a nice mesh net bag here. I'll open it. Let's take a look. One of the most important things is a little beanie. This is not a heavy beanie, it's a lightweight beanie, and it's very thin, lightweight, but you lose a lot of heat through your head, and this is a really important thing to have, so make sure you carry a beanie. Then I showed you the gloves last time. I carry those in my net bag. Those are the lightweight polyester gloves. They sell at Todd's Mountaineering, and I take two just in case it's real cold. I'll put one on top of another. So those are the gloves. And then in addition to the beanie, I carry this real lightweight full cover balaclava which goes over the face, but as you can see it's really thin because I go for the lightweight, and this really almost on all my Sierra Peak travels I don't even have to wear this. The beanie takes care of it, but just as a backup I like to have something that covers the entire face if a cold front comes in. And you can get those again thin and lightweight. I wear sunglasses, and I like the type that have a little string attachment in case you're climbing. You don't want them to fall. They can fall under rocks and you can lose them easily, so I have a string attachment. And then I like the type that cover the eyes on the side, and basically called glacier glasses, but these work really well. And again, not very heavy at all. I usually wrap them like this and store them in the balaclava, and then I put that inside the beanie, and that protects the lenses when they're in the net bag, keeps them safe. And then the last thing I have in the net bag is essentials, and I double bag it in 2 plastic bags because these are things you don't want to get wet. So I unzip, and I can take out the first plastic bag for water protection, and then I store it in another plastic bag to get the double water protection. And I'll show you what I have in here. So I'll remove this. This is just the net bag. We've been through that. This is one of the plastic bags to protect from the rain. Here's the second bag to protect from the rain. And obviously TP, you don't want that to get wet. So I wrap that in its own plastic bag, and I just put a few bundles of TP wrapped up in there with no core, no center, because you wanted just the paper to go lightweight. And you don't want that to get wet, so make sure you put it in a separate plastic bag. And here we're talking really lightweight. In another separate plastic bag, I have my toothbrush, which I cut down. Don't need the extra weight. And then I take about 3 or 4 strips of floss, because before I go to bed at night I do like to floss, so I don't carry the floss container. I cut the pieces and put them in the plastic bag. It's important not to carry containers so you can save weight, lessen the weight. So that's what I put in that bag. Here's an example. You're going to want sunblock out there because at 14,000 feet you do not want to get burnt, and you also want to have mosquito repellent. So I buy these very little dishes, petri dishes. They're plastic, and you can put in just a little amount of mosquito repellent, and this one's sunblock. I haven't put the mosquito repellent in here yet. It's just a cream because it's kind of a poison, so I only put it in right before I go on trips. But don't bring a big bottle of these things. This little light container is all you need. And for the sunblock, with my hat, that's all I use for the trip. My hands will have gloves on them. My shirt will cover my arms. I'll have my long pants. My hat will cover my face, and I use a little of this for my face. But you do not need much sunblock, and you don't need to bring a real huge big container. Oops. I'll have to wash that off. I'll be right back. Okay, I washed that sunblock off my hands. And if you can't find these little dishes, they're pretty hard to find, these mini dishes. You can just put sunblock in a corner of a bag here, then tighten the bag and put a tie wrap just a twisty tie wrap and have a little bag of sunblock. That way you're carrying no heavy container and you only need a little bit of sunblock. Just tie wrap it. You can do that to mosquito repellent and sunblock. And once you have the little bags, just cut it right here, and then you have a nice tiny little plastic bag of those goodies. Put it in another one of these small plastic bags just to protect it in case it leaks. So that's what I recommend for sunblock and mosquito repellent. Alright, of course, it's very important to bring a headlamp. Come with a headlamp and extra batteries. This one I like because it only uses one AAA battery for lighter weight. It is called a Gerber headlamp, and I don't store the battery in there. I don't want it to accidentally turn on, but that's all it takes is one battery to start it up. And it's plenty bright with just the one AAA battery. A lot of people will get a big headlamp and use big batteries, and it's very heavy. This is more than sufficient, and it's plenty bright. So look for a small headlamp and make sure to bring at least 2 extra batteries. And I'll show you where I have the 2 extras in here. So I usually just store that with the battery out of it. And I'll put it back in the bag here. I like to separate it by plastic bags because it keeps it organized and it keeps it waterproof. But definitely have a headlamp and make sure you have extra batteries that are fresh. Sometimes before going to bed, I like to comb my hair. So it's just a small black comb, which is plenty fine for when you're out climbing. And at night I can just comb my hair, and I cut it in half so it's less weight, and store it in a plastic bag. Here's where I have some essentials. I'll show you what I have. I bring a tiny little lighter. It's good to have this for the stove, and just good to have some fire if you need it. It's good to have a whistle if you fell or got stuck somewhere. You want to be able to signal people by having a whistle. A lightweight plastic one is fine. There's the extra headlamp batteries. I carry 3 for AAA, which are the smallest, so it's lightweight. It's maybe a good idea to carry a little signal mirror. This is super lightweight in plastic, but if you reflect it off the sun, you can signal if you were lost and people were searching for you. It really reflects a big bright light. So I carry a little tiny signal mirror. Again, it's plastic, not glass, so it's very lightweight. When you're up at 14,000 feet, you can get a headache up there. Usually the first day I'll get a bit of a headache because it's so high. So I took a corner of one of those bags, like I explained for the sunblock and mosquito repellent, but for the aspirin I just put in a corner of the bag. Then I tie it off with a little tie wrap, and I cut the bag and throw the bag away. And there I have a nice little holder for, I take about 5 or 6 aspirin. It's good to have in case you get a headache while climbing. Then I don't carry a big wallet or keys or anything, so I'd like to have $20 just in case you need it out there in the field, or you came back and run in anywhere you need a little money. I carry a bit, just a couple dollars. Then I have a sheet with information about emergency contact information in case someone found me unconscious, who to contact, and my blood type, my last tetanus shot, just a little health information. I do a copy of my driver's license. I don't carry the driver's license with me, but for identification I keep a copy of it. Then I just carry a pencil in case I want to write anything down. A few extra tie wraps, because a lot of times I'm wanting to tie things, so I just carry a couple tie wraps. Here's a can opener called a P38. It's available at Todd's, and it opens cans. A lot of times when you're out in the field you might need to do that, so I carry that. A couple little blades for cutting if I need to cut rope or repair anything in the field. And I put tape over it, so they're sharp, so I put tape over it to protect it while I'm carrying it. And here's like the smallest, lightest weight compass you can find. They have little baby ones, and you hold it out and it just tells you which way north is. I keep that as an emergency backup. Alright, all that stuff goes in this bag, all the little tiny emergency essentials. So put that back in here. Let's see what I have left here. I wear glasses or I need correction, vision correction, so what I do is I bring contacts so I don't have to carry glasses, which can be a lot heavier. You can buy little mini bottles full of contact solution, or sometimes I carry a little bigger one. This is just contact solution. And then I have a lightweight plastic contacts holder. And I keep that all in this bag. And so in this bag I bring my contacts, one pair for each day, and then I usually carry a couple extra pairs. I will even bring earplugs, a set of earplugs. Sometimes I've camped next to someone or had to share a tent and they were snoring all night long, so I'd like to have the earplugs just in case. And the last thing I carry in my net bag is a GPS unit. This takes 2 batteries. I store them outside of the unit, and like the GPS units you see in the car, this is just a mini version. It's a Garmin Fortrex 301. I think it's $100, maybe $150, but this will just tell you, say a cloud came in and you couldn't see anything. I'll have a map out there, and this tells you your location on that map. It'll give me a number, and I can look at my map and see right where I'm at. So this lightweight little goodie is just, it's a great thing to have. Eventually, if you do a lot of climbing, to have this as a backup. And I can show you this when we're camping if you have an interest in it. Okay, let me see if I think anything else, and I'll be back. Here's just an interesting trick if you'd like to go lightweight and have protection against the rain. The rain can be dangerous because if you get wet out there and the wind starts blowing, that's when you can get hypothermia. And that's kind of like the #1 killer of a solo hiker. We'll be in a group, so there's lots of safety. It's really fun to go with a group. But I carry this in my net bag. I stuff it in there. It's just a 55-gallon trash bag. It's the biggest bag I can find. And the beauty of it is it's super lightweight, but you can fold it out if you see a big rain coming. A lot of times you'll just get a downpour for a few minutes. And the idea is to keep yourself dry. So this is kind of neat. It's big enough if I fold it out, again it's 55-gallon, I can put it over my entire body and sit in it for a minute or two until the rain passes. So I'll show you here. I can just get in it, like so. And then I can sit down and then get my boots inside of it as well. And then I'm totally protected by the rain with absolutely no weight. It's a 55-gallon trash bag. So I can just kneel down, and I also have my boots covered from the rain as well. So that's a real neat trick you can do for absolutely no weight at all. And I believe they have these at Home Depot, and they're 55-gallon trash bags. I would suggest carrying one because it can really save you out there in a pinch or in an emergency. Okay guys, that's all that's coming to mind right now, but I might show you one more video where I show you how I pack my pack and what I do to make it waterproof. So if I can think of anything else, I'll do another video and I'll add it to the video where I show you how I pack to make it waterproof. Okay, hope everything's going well.